All right, it's 4:02. Okay, hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, Shelley.
hi, Shelley.
People can join in as they come, but I'm Shelley Gallagher, your committee chairperson for the 50th reunion for Walter Johnson. And I wanted to welcome everybody today to our Zoom happy hour. We wanted to do something, and if you brought a glass, you can raise it now, and we'll toast to us.
Yes.
Drink to that.
Hey.
And I want to say that thank goodness this didn't happen on our 60th or 70th reunion, because at 78 or 88, we would be extremely technologically challenged, and I'm pretty sure this wouldn't happen. So good for us for making this effort.
So Shelley, hold on 1 minute. I want to, since we're toasting, I want to do a toast to those of us who are not with us anymore. So, and there's been quite a few.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
And
Toast to them.
we'll talk about that.
Absent friends.
Absent friend.
All right, so hopefully most of you or all of you have looked on the website and looked at our short program outline, so you're aware of maybe what's going to be expected or what's coming. And if you haven't, well, then you'll just wing it. Anyway, I also wanted to just say that real quickly, I brought my party beads.
All right.
Green beads. Okay, yeah, they're from, St. Patrick's Day, but whatever.
Not Mardi Gras?
And Mardi Gras, they're multi-useful. And the only other thing I wanted to say right now was we got a message from John Kelly with the Washington Post, and Catherine is our representative that's going to meet with him, I think Monday or something, because he was interested in doing an article on what people are doing instead of their reunions because of COVID. So Catherine will let us know about that at some point on the website. So now I would like to turn this over to our Zoom host and classmate, Bruce Klitzman, who is the one who enabled this, and let him go over what to expect for procedures and logistics for our Zoom happy hour. Bruce.
Great, thank you so much, Shelley. One thing I want to make sure is everybody is aware of good Zoom etiquette, to make sure that your microphone is muted unless you actually want to say something, and then unmute or Alt-A to unmute your microphone, make your comments, and then mute again. Be aware that at some point, if it gets noisy, I may have to hit the mute all button. So even though you may have unmuted at one point, you may find yourself muted again. So just be aware of that. The other thing is, if you have any questions, please, if you can, post them in the chat. And you can reach that by clicking the icon down at the bottom that says chat, or hit Alt-H. At some point, we're going to break up into about 5 breakout rooms so that we'll be able to have some more intimate discussion with our classmates. And in order to do that, I'll hit the magic button and you will see a little prompt come up on your screen that says join the breakout room. So just press the join button and you will then be whisked away into the breakout room. The first thing you want to do in the breakout room is pick somebody, one of your classmates, who will be the one that reports back when we reassemble. They will report back to the whole group. And the other thing that you want to make sure you remember is your group number, because we will then have report based on the group number. Another logistic thing, if you want to see little pictures of everybody, you can hit the gallery view on the Zoom, which should be up in the upper right, or you can hit speaker view if you want to see a larger image of the person who's speaking. If you want to see the participants list, everybody that's on the call, you can hit the prompt at the bottom around the middle of the screen and it'll bring up the participants list. Also be aware that we are recording this, and that way we can share it among ourselves, and those that weren't able to join us today perhaps they'll be able to access it online. And with that, I'll hand it back to Shelley.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. First, I'd just like to say a few things about the committee. We've been meeting since the end of 2018, and at first we were meeting every month. Now, then it slowed down a little bit, but we've been meeting by Zoom now since March. Our last meeting was in March in person. Like a couple days before the COVID, we heard everything was closing down. And we have 16 people on the committee, which has been, I want to thank you guys all. There's a couple of people not here. I don't know if they'll be joining us, but they've been very dedicated. It's been wonderful to have all these people because everybody's sort of taken a turn on volunteering to do different things. It kind of all started with our 45th. A lot of us that are on the committee went to a 45th. We had a very small reunion then because there wasn't any 40th. And Kay, I don't know where she is. I'm sidetracking for a second. Linda, can you text Kay and remind her or see where she is?
Shelley, there's two screens. So
there's two screens. She's on the other screen.
she's on the second screen.
Oh, I see. Oh man, I've never gone to two screens. So I can't get everybody. Oh, okay. Hi, never mind. Okay.
I'm
I'm
here.
going back to my
Shelley.
screen. Hi, Kay.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't know you were there. I guess I can only have 25 on a screen. So cool. Okay, well, welcome everybody that I can't see. All right, so anyway, we've been, we spent a long time deciding on a venue, and several of our people went to several of the venues, and we decided on the Marriott North, Bethesda Marriott North. And we, worked on music. We worked on having a Walter Johnson tour at the beginning on Friday and an informal happy hour after that. And if you have not filled out the survey of the reunion, we're trying to get ideas on what to do Saturday day. We've offered like possibly Glenstone Museum, a trip to Annapolis or golfing. There's a couple different things on there. So if you haven't already filled that out, fill that out because now you have almost another year to figure it out. Of course, we had to postpone the new reunion. The gala is going to be September 25th at the same location, and the Marriott has agreed to hold our contract, which is wonderful. And that's pretty much all about that. And now I would like to talk about the committee and introduce each of the committee members, and they're each going to hopefully say something, maybe what they've felt about the reunion planning and what part they've had in it. And I just want to say somehow, I don't know how I decided to be the committee chairperson other than nobody else volunteered. My last job before I retired, I was department chair for the ED regional program in Anne Arundel County Public Schools. That's the emotionally disturbed high school program. So 3 years of that gave me a little bit of confidence, and I might know how to delegate or run a meeting with an agenda. Otherwise, I would have never done this. But I have a great committee. So with that, I just want to start. I'm going to list them alphabetically, and when I call your name, committee members, just hopefully you'll say something 15 to 30 seconds of what you want to say. So let me just get my list. Hold on. Okay, so it's alphabetical. So first is Hugh Barteman, who is one of our original planners for our reunions, and he started our website. And Hugh, take it away.
There we go. Hi, I'm Hugh Barteman, and it's great to be here. And Kay and I, actually Kay was the one who really started this site and for the 45th. And we've just, we try to constantly improve it. We're using other classes, websites as to help us out. Class of 69, class of 71, they all use the same class creator for the website. And anyway, it's been great working with this. We have a great group of people to work with, the committee, and I think it's going to be it's going to be a great reunion. I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully this COVID thing will be a thing of the past and we can all sit around and talk about how we made it through 2020.
Okay, thank you, Hugh. Our next committee member is Catherine Duff, who so kindly volunteered with a little bit of coaxing to be our treasurer. Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine Duff. In high school, I was Kathy Duff. I'm the only female who didn't change my last name, but changed my first name. Yeah, when Shelley said volunteered, yeah, they let me have my second glass of red wine at lunch one day, and she goes, would you do this? And so, yes. So I'm the treasurer. I had worked on the 10th reunion, the 20th reunion. I went to the 30th, and then I was on the committee that came together that met at Union Jacks in Bethesda. There were like 6 of us, and we realized we really need to get organized for the 50th. So anyway, I'm in charge of bringing in the money and putting out the money, and I enjoy doing that kind of thing, even though I'm not an accountant.
All right, thanks, Kathy. Next is Linda Otto Hahn, and she is our communications representative and editor.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So it's been fun serving on the committee. It's a great group. We have really fun lunches, and I highly recommend joining in. Our newest challenge is that we're trying to match up people on the committee with their skills and things that they love to do, so that we can make everything efficient and really fun.
Thanks, Linda. Linda sometimes has technology problems, so we're happy we could hear her. Next, we have Tom Holt. Tom? There you are. Unmute. You have to unmute. Unmute. There.
I was hoping no one would notice that.
He's in North Carolina, so he's only been able
I'm in
to.
North Carolina. I have been on the committee less time than many, particularly original people. I've enjoyed working with them, and I volunteered with John Namer to make sure we have plenty of spaces at the bar on Friday night, since they won't take reservations. So he and I will be linking and saving places for all of you. Cheers.
Nice mug, Tom.
Deal, Tom.
Thanks. So I got to do what I do best. That's what it is.
They say nice mug, like
Yeah,
that mug.
that's nice to know. Oh,
I
thought
can't
you
believe
put it
you
on
still
my face.
have it.
Anyway, okay.
All right, next
That's it for me.
is Jack Marshall, who actually is going to make our name tags for our real reunion. Jack, is he here?
Yep.
Okay. You must be on my other page.
You get me?
Yeah.
What happened? Everything just went wacko.
Yep.
Bruce did it.
Bruce did it. Where'd everybody go?
Yeah, what happened there? It's a Duke conspiracy.
So it's not just me?
No, it's everybody.
No, it's everybody.
You gotta
Oh.
stop sharing screen.
What? Well, it went to, now I only see 6 people. Is that what you all see too?
I see 4.
Yeah.
I see
Well-
one. I just see Shelley.
Marshall's sharing his
Yay.
screen.
Marshall is.
It's because
I
there's
see
so
Alan
many
and
We just need to stop that.
I wonder if he accidentally sent us to breakout.
At the top it says you're viewing Jack Marshall's screen.
Yeah, mine says that too.
He's sharing the screen.
Can we do view options?
You can stop his sharing
There you go.
unless he wants to share.
That
I can
didn't
still
work.
see everybody along the bottom.
That didn't work.
There we go.
There we go.
There
We're
we
back.
are.
We're back.
Okay. You got me now?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed this. It's been great catching up with everybody, and we've had terrific meetings. And I'm sure Sherry will talk about Bob's venue that he provided for us for the meetings. And I will be doing the name badges with your lovely pictures from back in 1970. So perhaps I should actually blackmail some folks, make sure that I like theirs, and in any case, it's been a lot of fun, and
Uh-oh.
Okay. Thanks, Jack.
Uh-oh.
Sure. Weren't you noticed, were you, is your real name John? Is it John? And
Yep.
Okay, but you go by Jack. Or did you go by Jack in high school? I forget.
yeah, always, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there was Bob Frost in our class. We had Robert Frost, we had John Marshall, we had some other, well-known names.
All right, next we have Julie Maudlin Robertson.
Lost.
And she is our coordinator for this happy hour
Mm-hmm.
Zoom meeting, as well as she's done a lot of other write-ups and investigative work. Julie.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Shelley. I've really enjoyed working on the committee too. One of the first things that I was involved with was site visits. It was interesting seeing different possible places. And Linda and I went together to scout out the class of '69 reunion, which was really fun and really got us pumped for our own reunion. I also worked a little bit on helping with I guess a lot of us did, on the menu planning, and lobbied for having hot hors d'oeuvres and food stations instead of a sit-down dinner. And then I've chaired the program planning of this meeting tonight. So happy to see you all today.
Okay, thank you. We have a couple people, Linda, I know we have a couple people, we're trying to help them log on. So if you see me busy doing something, I'm trying to help some people get with us. All right, so that's Julie. Next, we have Eric Nadeau, who has participated with us almost every meeting. And Eric, I'll pass it over to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All yours, Eric.
Isn't that, yeah.
I learned very early that when you go to these committees and you don't really want a position in the committee, don't go to the restroom while the meeting is still in session. So I didn't. And one of the best things I can do is just help people when I don't understand something. Obviously, there's someone else in there that doesn't understand something, but everybody's been so nice, and we've not had to pull each other apart at any time. And then it's been so good ever since we started at the old Wildwood restaurant.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that.
But
thanks,
it's
Eric.
been, everybody's been right up front, and when you didn't understand, well, it was explained.
And don't you worry, Eric, you'll go to the bathroom eventually.
I understand, I will. I'm waiting for the event and the last planning stages. I'm ready
It'll be a big one.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
TMI,
next-
Shelley, TMI.
Okay, Bruce. All right, next we have John Namer, who is our hotel liaison, who without him, I'm not sure what we would have done, but he worked really hard to get us the best deals possible. He and, as we said, a couple other people went to different venues. I know he and I met with the people at the Marriott, and he's met with them several times, and he's a great negotiator, apparently. John.
Well, you just said my whole spiel, but I'm John Namer. In high school, I was John Namer, and if you don't remember me, that was me.
Oh, okay.
In the band. But as Shelley said, I'm the designated hotel guy, and we had a lot of fun. Jack Marshall and Everett and Shelley and Linda and I went around to a lot of hotels. We went to the hotels I had connections with and some I didn't have connections with, and we settled on the Bethesda Marriott North, which is a newer hotel. They just put an addition on, they just renovated, put on a parking garage, and then when the pandemic hit, they subsequently closed the hotel. We have met with probably 10 different employees that have all been fired or quit. And, we've renegotiated the contract about 5 times. We had some really good lunches there.
Oh, yeah.
And they have wined and dined us. We've got a great deal. We've got a huge ballroom space with some really nice features, and we have a good room block for people that want to spend the night there. Those of us that live a long distance, like I'm over 2.5 miles away, so I'll be spending the night at the hotel. But it's been a lot of fun. The committee has been great. Everybody has done their job of what their expertise is, and I look forward to seeing everybody next year.
All right, thank you, John. Yes, the lunches they wined and dined us with were crab cakes that were delicious, I have to say. Next, we have Bob O'Toole, who, as one of you mentioned earlier, our first meeting was at Wildwood Shopping Center. I don't know, remember the name of the place, but it was so noisy and we were at a long table and none of us knew each other and it was pretty horrible. So Bob O'Toole said, well, I'm a member of Columbia Country Club and we could meet there. So that's where we've been meeting, and we have really nice lunches afterwards. And our first lunch, I think it was our first lunch in there. It snowed. It was so beautiful looking out the window. Of course, we had to drive home, but anyway, it's been a wonderful place, and that's where we meet. And Bob O'Toole.
Actually, I want to correct Catherine on one thing. I believe it was the third glass of wine. Made you volunteer.
No, I never do the third.
I didn't do much of anything other than offer a little haven and occasionally order some extra wine. But it was great for me.
You got us the DJ. You got us the DJ.
Oh yeah, and he got us the DJ too.
And he still is going to play the following year. He said he'll be around.
Right.
I was new to Walter Johnson. I moved there when I was a junior, so I didn't get to know many of you people. I saw Dave McCullough in here somewhere. He's kind of disappeared off my screen, but I met Dave. He was a super nice guy when I was in high school. And I sat behind Linda.
Now I know you're lying.
There it is. Oh, no, that's not the same Dave McCullough. No, I'm just kidding. But I knew Linda because she was an auto and I was no tool. And that was about it. But it's been great getting to meet everybody. And looking forward to a fun event eventually. I mean, this was a great idea. Thank you guys for organizing it.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob. And we look forward to when we can meet again.
Amen.
Amen.
Next, we have Herb Pearson, who has been a great member of our committee also. And let's see, where are you, Herb?
I'm right here.
Okay, Herb Pearson, there you go.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here with everybody. I just want to say that Shelley and everybody and Julie and Catherine and John and everybody did a great job on the committee. It's been really wonderful. I haven't been able to participate as much as I could, but possibly the coming year I'll be able to participate more. But it's been a terrific experience and I love it. So thank you.
All right, well, we'll send you an errand to the bathroom at the same time. Hi. Hi. Welcome.
This is my wife, Claire.
Yeah.
Hi, Claire.
How you doing, Claire?
Hello, everyone. I met many of you at the last reunion. So it's good to see you again.
Good. Louis Pope, who is our Walter Johnson liaison and has helped us a lot with that and other community communications. Louis?
Hey, Shelley and everyone. It's great to see you all. Shelley called me Louis. Many of you in high school called me Lou, which as soon as I left high school, I hated that name. And I said, don't ever anybody call me Lou again. And for the last 50 years, I've chastised anybody who ever called me that. So I go by Louis for and it's funny, as John and other people were mentioning, I remember where I sat in school. I always sat alphabetically between Priscilla Plum and Bobby Poe. So it was kind of cool. But in any case, I am the liaison back to Walter Johnson itself. I was one of the group that actually got to go to the 45th reunion and got a tour of the school. And my job is to set up that tour again so that the Friday afternoon right after school ends, because they insist on doing it at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the Friday before our reunion next September. We'll all get a tour of Walter Johnson, which has expanded dramatically over the last 50 years, and nothing is where it used to be. But the plaque is still there in the middle of the hallway, which although nobody paid any attention, they were walking all over it. Shelley asked me to also track some of the former teachers, if we could track them. I talked to the school about that. They had no idea what I was talking about. And I said, well, they'd all be over 90 now, since they all have to be, well, late 80s, early 90s.
A
Since they have
couple
to
of
be,
them are only a couple of years older than us.
well, I don't remember that many young, hot teachers. I remember old battle axes like Virginia Baker and other people. I spent a lot of time with Chauncey Ford, and I know he's still alive somewhere if we could track him down. So it would be cool. But anyway, I've enjoyed being part of the committee. I got to thank Bob O'Toole for moving us from a restaurant to the luxury of Columbia Country Club, which makes all of our meetings a joy. But anyway, and I want to compliment Shelley on doing an outstanding job of running this entire organization. So thank you, Shelley.
Thank you, Louis.
You're here. You're here.
All right, what kind of prize do I win? Oh, I expect red roses at the reunion.
There you go.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I thought you had to unmute your computer.
Black-eyed
What more do you
Susan.
want?
No, I don't. I stay unmuted. There's nobody in my house. Next, I'm trying not to skip anybody. Next, we had Kay, who lives in Florida. So she's really the person responsible for all of this in a way. And she was responsible for the 45th, a big part of the 45th, and encouraged me after several glasses of wine, I think, to do this job. Or it could have been vodka, sorry.
It seems to be a common element of these conversations.
It is. It is.
So,
I'll drink to that.
Nope, nobody's mentioning smoking any weed, so I guess we're past that, huh?
well, yeah, I don't know. We don't do that at our committee meetings.
Uh-huh.
At least I don't. And so she is an administrator on our website, and Kay, Davis Prusecki.
All
Did I say that right?
Prusecki. I just
Prusecki.
want to say
Oh,
cheers,
shoot.
everybody.
Prusecki.
To the wine.
Okay.
I think what happened was we didn't have a 40th, and I was disappointed, and I know Linda was disappointed, and I had joined classmates just to see, and ask those questions and see if I could connect with people about a reunion for the 40th. And when it didn't happen, I kept talking to Linda even about it, and we said, we got to do something. And so from Florida, I actually organized our 45th reunion, and I began by starting our WJ Class of 1970 Facebook page. And I thought, well, maybe people will log on there, and I can connect with people to invite them to a 45th. And so if you're not aware, you can please sign on for Facebook. It's Walter Johnson Class of 1970. And we post pictures there, and Linda's posts probably as much as I do on there, but everyone's welcome to post pictures and family pictures and talk about whatever's going on in your life. But anyway, from there, I got a hold of both Linda and Catherine Duff, because I said, I can't do much more from Florida. If you need to be the liaisons up there to start looking at places, and we'll put the word out. And anyway, so we did end up with about, 45 people at our 45th. And my thought was that if we could have that core group of people that would actually start planning a really nice 50th reunion. And pretty much that's what happened. We did have a good time at the 45th. We went out to Great Falls and spent the day and had a nice luncheon out there. There were about 20 of us that went there hiking. And then we went out, we did do the tour on Friday, and we also we went out both Friday and Saturday night for dinner and drinks. And so we all got together and had a great time. So for the 50th, thank God, Shelley took the reins, but I guess I visit, and Shelley and I have been in touch through the years since our kids were born, so we've stayed close, and visits Florida, and I visit up there in Maryland. And so the one time I was up there, I don't know, right after the 45th, I guess, and Diane came down to Shelley's, and we were all there for talking about the 50th, and I said, somebody's got to take this bull by the horns, and we convinced Shelley to make some phone calls, and she got a team together, and that's kind of where we are. So this group of 16 people came together, and I've only been able to, in person, be at one of the meetings, but I've taken some phone calls and trying to do what I can from Florida. So anyway, it's been a great run, and you guys have been doing a good job, and I think this is even fun, just to see everyone's be a part
Thank you,
of it. So
Kay.
thank you very much.
And thanks for volunteering me. All right, great. Next we have Bruce Steely, who has been our most dedicated, and without him, I don't know what I'd do, secretary who takes notes, because I don't. And Bruce Steely, thank you so much for volunteering after
Shelley.
3 beers. Oh, wines, or whatever it was.
Well, cheers, everyone. Anyway, as Shelley said, I've been serving kind of by default as the secretary of the committee, feverishly taking notes as in some of these animated discussions. And people are kind of opinionated sometimes, and it goes back and forth, and it's kind of challenging. But anyway, I also do all the record keeping, keep a big binder on everything, all the menus, the hotel contracts, everything. And my other function will be to organize a slideshow for the physical event. And I have to say, we have very few photographs right now. So I'd like to encourage you to send me, I'll give you my email address in a minute, either preferably digital photographs of either yourself or things that happened to WJ, or even some things that are emblematic of that era. I mean, if you attended like a protest or you did something, you know, that would make us all remember those days, that would be great. I need as many as I can get. My email address is my name, basically.
Hey, Bruce, it's
Yeah.
on the website now. Hey, everybody. So on the website, the committee members are stated. You go to that link and all of our emails are on there. So if you feel more comfortable emailing any certain people, or you want to get in touch with any of us, I'm just saying you don't have to really write it down because it's on the website now. Hugh put it on there last week, Bruce.
Okay,
But
well,
you
it's
can go ahead
easy.
and tell them.
It's Bruce at Steely, my last name, .org. So please do send photographs. I really am hurting for something to put up there, and
Bruce?
Anything we can get is good.
Bruce, can I also say, if you want, are you on the Facebook page?
On the WJ one,
For our class that I created?
I think so. I couldn't tell you for sure, Kay.
Well, if you would join that, you may find pictures on there. I've posted quite a bit, and other people have too. You might be able to pull them from there.
Okay.
So it's Walter Johnson, class of 1970. Facebook.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've been there. That's about it. That's about all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. And next we have Steve York, who I waited. I asked who could do it, and I did some wait time. I was a teacher, so I did wait time. Wait till somebody raises their hand. Oh, Steve raised his hand to collect memorabilia, because we need memorabilia for our reunion. And you can, well, he'll tell you how you can get it to him, but maybe even the day of the reunion or the day before. But we want some memorabilia to place around the area of where we have the reunion. So he is the collector of memorabilia. Steve, is he here? Is Steve with us? Do you know?
I haven't seen him on any of the.
No,
I haven't seen
he's
him.
not listed on it.
He's not listed as a participant either. no.
Okay, well, again, his email is there on the website. I know it's, you may not want to mail something, but if you can just tell him that you're going to bring, we're just trying to get an idea of who maybe has still jackets, or Tom Holt, I know you still have a mug, and he's already collected a few things, but just so we can have some memorabilia at the reunion next year. Okay, and last, not really last, but sort of last, but not least, we have Everett Woo, who's been a huge participant. Woo, who's been a huge participant and has participated a lot, and sometimes has a lot to say too.
Yeah, quite a bit, that guy. You ought to shut him up. Well, I am Everett Woo, and it's been a real privilege to work with everybody on the committee and to see how much they've accomplished in their lives and how they've used that to help make this committee what it really is. And I mean, it's just amazing, all those folks. Basically, my job on the committee was I was initially working with Jack, Linda, and Julie to determine our reunion venue site. So we went to visit it, and the many different sites, and finally presented to the committee. And then John got involved and used his magic to get us what we really needed. And I'm also the backup guy along with Hugh, we're both backups to the treasurer, Catherine. So having said that, with all the, what do you call them? All the information you've been putting on these websites, now we know where to come after you guys if you don't pay up, and if you're short. So everybody keep that thing up to date so we can go after you. One thing I'd like to say is that I'm very grateful that this virus happened at the time that it did, because so much of the stuff that this committee had to do, where we had to interface with all the hotels and with decorating people and everything, that was all done in the summer. So we've been really blessed by having that happen. And having said that, I'd just like to close with saying that all in all, when all is said and done, this reunion is just one page in our book of life. And hope that for each and every one of you, that there be many, many more pages to be written in your book. And I want to thank you all for all your memories which you've given to us over all the years. As I go back and look at the yearbook, like some of you have, brought back a lot of happy memories. And to see all of you here today and to work with the folks on the committee, it's truly been a blessing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all, and especially thank you, Shelley, for pulling it all together.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
here.
Yay.
Well said, Everett.
I have to admit, I was a little bit nervous. Okay, my daughter was like, "Mom, why are you so nervous?" I go, "Well, I'm nervous, okay? Running this whole thing, but whatever." Anyway, thank you, everybody. I thanked Bruce. We know he enabled this. And the other person I want to thank is, can you guess? Committee members, can you guess?
Andy Pino.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna say it right. Pino, Andy Pino.
Pino.
Huh?
Pino. I think.
Pino. I heard it was like Pinot Grigio. Pinot.
No, it is.
Okay.
It is.
So he emailed us, I don't know, not much more than a month ago, and told us he had this humongous spreadsheet of everybody in the class and all these contacts, which we worked as a committee. Really, we divvied out the class. We had like 35 people to each contact a year ago, whatever means we could. And Andy somehow, miraculously, I'm not sure how, he's produced this beautiful spreadsheet that we've intertwined with the website, and we will try and be contacting a whole lot more people for our reunion. And Andy, thank you. And he's attended our last few meetings. And so Andy, over to you.
Well, it's a pleasure. I started it about 3 or 4 months ago, and just said, given that it's the 50th year, I noticed a few people were coming to the website, and I said, gee, I'd like to see if I can track down a few more. So I began going on white pages and various websites, and I was able to track down about 600 of you. and a combination of phone numbers, email addresses, and home addresses. I said once I had it all together, I had to get in touch with the reunion committee in the hopes that they could use the information to bring more people to the website and hopefully next year's reunion. So it's been a pleasure for me to do. And thank you, Shelley, for the recognition.
Well, we're gonna, and as a reunion committee, we're gonna, at our next committee meeting, guys, which I'm gonna schedule for November, I'm thinking, we're gonna divvy out the list again and try and contact as many of these people as we can. So, thank you. Okay, so then that moves me to some of our classmates got married, you know, as our classmates. Did I already say that part? I don't think so. And one of them was Frank Hughes and Cheryl Carl.
Yay.
Which they're my dear friends anyway. But anyway, they will begin the next part of our meeting with an orientation, and they are our MCs for the night with very little coaxing by Tom Holt, I have to say, although maybe he twisted their arm virtually, I'm not sure. And so Frank and Cheryl, I'm passing it on to you. Frank, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you, Shelley. Here we are. Cheers to everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. You
So,
need
John,
to fill your glasses, you guys.
I know. Well, we've been
We
so
need to take a fill your glasses break.
we've been practicing our active listening, and we've been really listening to everyone. So we've been, you know. Anyway, I was going to mention to John. I said he's 2.5 miles away. Multiply that times 1,000. That's how far. That's how many miles we are away. So we are going to stay at the hotel that night of the reunion next year.
Sorry, it's all filled.
Hey, wait a minute. I know you. Get me in, man. You got special. You got some kind of special pull. I know that. You know people, right? Anyway, so here we go. So again, hello. I've got the participant list here. We've got 40 on the call right now, not counting spouses like Cheryl. Shelley did a great introduction. We're your MCs for today's program. WJ class of 70, 50th reunion happy hour. We got 40 we got 40 Zoomers, I call you.
I need to reload.
And I just want you to know that's a school theme, so I don't want any PTSD type flashbacks. Everybody needs to stay calm. Stay close to your drink hand there. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to have three basic elements. We have attendance, we have homeroom, and assembly. So in attendance, we're going to give everybody a chance to say 30 seconds of who they are and where they're at. We're going to have homerooms. We're going to do breakout rooms so we can have individual conversations. And then we're going to have an assembly. We're going to reconvene to talk about what we talked about in the breakout or home rooms. So we're going to get started right away here with attendance. So we're gonna call the roll, if you will. So when we do attendance, here's how we're going to do it. Give us your high school name, your whole name, whatever, so we know who you are, where you're at, and give us some personal information like kids, grandkids, and those kinds of things. I'm going to be reading your name off of the participant list, which is alphabetized by first name, except for those that have names that don't identify you, like Zoom user. There's somebody on here called Zoom user.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, there you go. That's all right.
Who are you? Who are you?
Zoom user. So anyway, we're going to do
Kavanaugh.
that. But in order to, you got your 30 seconds, but you need, in order to get through the program, we have some props that we're going to use in order to give you an idea of whether you're going too long, getting a little too wordy. So the first thing we have, Cheryl's going to hold it up, is a moo machine.
Good one.
So if you hear that, that means you're going a little long. You need to wrap it up. And Everett knows because we did it to him when we were trying it out earlier today. All right, and then we have a cowbell. So did everybody hear that okay?
Oh, yeah.
See it?
Yep.
So here's what I have to say. When they asked me to do this, it was only about 10 days ago, for Cheryl and I to do this. I said, okay, I want a real cow moo. Real cow moo. So Julie went out and found this moo machine. And go ahead, do it again, Cheryl. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a real cow. So I call that a fake moo. This is fake moos.
Yes, indeed. Well done, Frank.
Fake moos. Got it? For you Trumpers? Fake moos. Okay. All right. Never mind. That was Johnny Carson blowing his monologue. Okay. The cowbell, I told Julie, I said, I only want an authentic Waller Johnson cowbell. So she went to Amazon and she put in Waller Johnson High School, Bethesda, Maryland, vintage 1970 cowbell. And this is what I got 3 days later.
Wow.
So kudos to Julie and Amazon. You guys are great.
I have an original right here.
Okay, FedEx that to me. I need it. Okay. So we're going to start with the bio first as an example of what we're looking for with the bios for everybody. So Cheryl is going to do that. So here we go.
So just before I start, I just want to make a little comment in defense of Catherine and Shelley and all the rest of those people that are going to hold up the bar. Bob, we do not count age or glasses of wine or beer or scotch. Got it? They don't count. Okay. Going forward, as you've already met Frank, and I'm Cheryl Carl, and we've been married for 43 years, not right out of high school, by the way. We live about 60 miles northeast of Los Angeles in the Mojave Desert, where we currently operate and manage a natural food store and restaurant. We have two sons. One is in California. The other one is in Iowa. He's a professor of biology at Coe College. So there we go.
Okay. So there's the bio. All right. So here we go. I'm going to call your name and you give us your 30 seconds. So we've got Bruce Klitzman, our host.
All right. Thank you, Frank. So some of you may remember that I played trumpet in high school, and this is a picture of me on the cover of Playboy magazine in 1969. We had a band that played at Rehoboth Beach, and there I am in the band on the cover of Playboy magazine. So,
wow.
I've done a couple of things since then. I invented an erasable tattoo ink, and in fact lost out in 2007 for Time Magazine's Invention of the Year to this little gadget that some of you may recognize as the iPhone. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, by the way, I'm a professor of surgery, biomedical engineering, and cell biology at Duke also.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Bruce. Okay. Next is Bob. That must be Bob O'Toole.
Hi, Frank and Cheryl. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, I married, but a rival from BCC by the name of Melinda Estridge, my second go-round. And we formed a group called the Estridge Group, which is a real estate group in Bethesda. And I don't know if any of you have heard of the Estridge Group, but I hope you have. And we've been together as partners for 20 some odd years, and I've known Melinda for 42. It's been a great partnership, both as husband and wife for the past 25 years and business partners, and we haven't killed each other, and that, a lot of that I attribute to the fact that we both drink a lot of wine. I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Bob. All right, next on my list here is Diane Rolfs.
Hey, hi, everybody. Let's see. I live in North Carolina now. We retired here about 8 years ago. We've lived all over the country. I spent about 15 years in Montana and about 25 years in upstate New York. I'm a retired school counselor. We have one daughter, 2 grandkids, and we're enjoying life in North Carolina. So there you go.
In high school, she was Diane Olson.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It was Diane Olson in high school. So there you go.
All right, next here is Nancy Brewster.
Oh my goodness. I came west to Colorado in 1970, stayed till 1980, followed, with a degree in anthropology and a second one that I could actually use in interior design. And my career took me to Salt Lake City for 4 years, and then to the San Francisco Bay Area for 31 years, where I've practiced commercial interiors, office planning. And I've had my own firm for 26 years. I returned to Colorado 5 years ago when I followed my heart back. And I am now pursuing the office planning on a selective basis and also working more on my hand-woven fiber art. I was married for 20 years, am single and available to healthy, fun men, and Labrador retrievers.
All right. Well, thank you, Nancy. Okay, now, Shelley. This thing is not exactly alphabetical by first name, but I'm just reading down the participant list. So
Okay.
Bear with me. Okay, so Shelley Gallagher.
All right. I thought we were supposed to hold up a picture of ourselves possibly. So
there you
that's
go,
me in
girl.
high school graduation picture. I look just the same 50 years later.
You do.
You
So,
obviously don't have a good ophthalmologist, but
I was married for 16 years to a man whose last name was Fish. So I was known as Shellfish a lot of my life. Yeah. And that has stuck. So some people who don't know me that well or haven't been around me still say, hey, Shellfish. I was like, yeah, I'm done with that fish thing. Okay. So anyway, that was that. But we're still friends. We have 2 children, one in North Carolina, my son, my daughter's lives up the street from me. And we have 4 grandchildren, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My kids didn't have children. They didn't get married till they were in their 30s, and they didn't have children till they were in their late 30s. So yeah, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I babysit the 1 and the 3-year-old. Definitely need wine after those days. I was a special education teacher with my master's in special ed. I was a resource specialist. I was a crisis interventionist for a couple years for the Obama administration. And then I ended up my career as the department chair, like I said, at a high school emotionally disturbed program. I lived most of my life here in Severna Park, but I've also held residence in Hawaii, San Diego, California, Steamboat Springs, Colorado, West Virginia on top of a mountain, and with my son in North Carolina. So I'm all by choice. I'm kind of like an adventure girl and move around and figure it out when I get there. So I've lived in a lot of beautiful, beautiful places. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Shelley. Okay, now we have Zoom user.
That's me.
We definitely need a name.
Hi, my name is Karen Kavanaugh.
Hi, Karen.
Hi there. I went to school in Ohio. I came back, and hi there, Jim, and worked for the federal government. I retired as a Fed from both Treasury and Department of Health and Human Services. The last one was Director of Finance for the department. I've been, let me see, I got married, no kids. As I said, I retired about 12 years ago. I'm now living in Bedford, Virginia. Where is Bedford, Virginia? It's in central Virginia between Roanoke and Lynchburg. Love it here. We just purchased a 200-acre farm. And let me tell you, it's a very different life here. I'm a city girl. I'm now a country girl, and it's all new.
Good for you.
Hey,
Loving it.
great.
Loving it.
Okay, now we have Bruce Steely.
Thanks, Frank. So here's what I looked like in high school. A little less hair now, but otherwise I don't see much difference. Anyway, I've lived in Albany, Maryland for the past 43 years. I've been married 42 of those to my wife, Karen. We have 2 grown kids, no grandkids. After WJ, I went to the University of Maryland and graduated with a degree in computer science. I was a software engineer and an Oracle database administrator. For a while, I had a systems engineering company, but for the last 20 years, I worked for the defense contractor Northrop Grumman, where I retired. So I've always loved boats, and these days I spend much of my time on our boat on Chesapeake Bay, and I also crew on sailboats making ocean passages. My wife still works at NIH, and she plans to retire next year, so we'd like to travel around the country at that time and see some places we've never been. So anyway, it's really great connecting with everyone. It's really cool to see everyone that I've long forgotten.
Okay. All right, let's see. I hate to say it, but this participant list is moving around on me here. So Hugh Barteman.
Hi, I'm Hugh Barteman, and what can I say? I'm still living in Bethesda, Maryland. In fact, I'm still living in the same house I was in when I graduated from high school.
Wow.
I have a place on the Eastern Shore. That's where I'm at now. I worked for IBM for 40 years. I retired in 2018. I worked on mainframe computers. I installed them and maintained them, and I was an account rep for the NSA in Fort Meade. And I'm still single. I'm still looking, but I keep in touch with actually with a lot of people from class of 71. I know a lot more people actually from that class than our class. And I still have friends of mine that I've known since elementary school that I hang out with. So, and I'm trustee chairman for my church down here, and that keeps me busy. And so I was worried when I retired that I wouldn't be busy enough, but that has not happened. So thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, Hugh. Okay, we have Lucy.
That's me.
Okay.
Just wanted to say to Hugh, don't forget Nancy's available.
Okay.
Right. Lucy,
Assuming he's healthy.
Poor Lucy. Come on, Lucy.
And
That's okay.
she's unmuted too.
I know.
Mental or physical health?
Both.
Oh, nice.
All right, you're on, Lucy.
I hear. Okay. Let's see. I married my husband, Steve Rice, and we've been married 46 years, and he graduated from Whitman. And he spent a lot of my senior year in my classes at Walter Johnson. So if you were in any of my classes and you saw this strange guy in there, that was my husband. I have 2 kids, and one's 40 and one's 36. And my son, who is 40, lives in Silver Spring. He's an electrician and he's not married, but he is in a relationship. My daughter, she lives 10 minutes from me and has a daughter. She's 3 years old, and we used to babysit 3 times a week, but since COVID, it's not happening. So it's very disappointing because I was enjoying my relationship with her. Let's see, we live in Charles County, and I've lived here since 1976, and I was a teacher, elementary and middle school, then administration. And I retired in 2015, and I was enjoying so much traveling, going at least 2 or 3 different countries a year. And then COVID hit. I was in India at the end of February, and we just got back just in time, right before things got shut down. So I keep, counting my blessings that I didn't get stuck in India.
All right.
Are you Lucy Gilchrist?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Julie lived around the corner from me.
So nice to see you. And
good to see you.
Kavanaugh, too, who I went to Girl Scouts.
Yes, Julie,
And
Julian.
Karen, yes.
Lucy, yes.
I kept looking at Karen and I'm going, I know her.
Okay, all right, that's a good segue because let's do Julie next.
Oh, okay.
Good.
It's actually Julie Robertson Maudlin rather than the other way around. So I was Julie Robertson in high school. I don't know if this will show or not, but let's see. Maybe if it adjusts, it will. That was me in high school. Oh, there we go. I live in Bowie, Maryland. I've spent most of my life in Maryland. I did go to grad school in Athens, Georgia, and stayed and worked there about 5 years and then moved back to this area. I'm semi-retired now. Most of my working life was in natural resources. I studied botany and just love anything to do with plants and insects, garden plants, forest plants, animals, all of that stuff. I have been married to my sweet husband, Jim, for about 30 years. He's here listening on the side, laughing every now and then. He's been hearing a lot about this committee going on, and it seems to be enjoying our session and brought me my drink.
Yay.
And we have a wonderful son, Sam, who lives in San Diego, California. He's a project scientist in bioinformatics and studying the tuberculosis genome. And he's just spent the week in Colorado and Utah and doing a little traveling around, taking a break. Miss seeing him this year during COVID, but that will happen again. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Okay. Joan Schaefer.
Hello. So let's see. I always refer to myself as the townie because I've made it all the way from Bethesda to 2 years ago. I made it to Chevy Chase. I've really, come a distance, although I've done a tremendous amount of traveling, I'm happy to say. I got married in 1981, one son who's going to be 31 next month. And I've had a few careers, but the longest one was post-MBA. I sort of started a straight line career in technology development and ended up running it for Capital One. And then I decided to do early retirement and made a sharp left turn and became the grants manager for the Montgomery County Council, where I helped them give away $12 million a year to nonprofits. I would say it was far more gratifying than building systems. And I'm still, I've retired again from that, but I do a little bit of consulting for nonprofits, and I am very, very active in our nonprofit community. And if any of you want to help make Montgomery County a better place, come talk to me. I'll put you to work.
Oh, hey, that's great, Joan. Thank you. All right, I've got somebody on here called KLH007.
That's Kemper Holt.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh.
All right. Our way.
I went to University of Maryland. I've spent about half my adult life in Colorado. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife, Jennifer, a daughter, and 2 grandkids, 8 and 12. We're currently the educational support. We get the 8-year-old weekdays to he Zooms at school, and then he and I take walks and stuff in between. I've done things like been an executive in a recording industry, sold high-end audio and run furniture companies. And now I'm doing, when COVID ceases or we have vaccines, I've been covering audio shows across the nation. And I do some reviewing of high-end audio equipment for a YouTube channel called AV Showrooms.
Great.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kemper.
We're in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Okay. Now we have Lewis Pope.
Thanks, Frank. Lewis Pope. I have been married to my wife Joyce now for 42 years. We have 5 wonderful children and 7 grandchildren so far, although they all keep working on it regularly. I graduated from the University of Maryland with a degree in finance. I went into real estate business and real estate development. I still do that. I'm actually sitting in my office right now because I figured it'd be quieter and easier and lighter and all the connections work. So still working, and we go back and forth between here and Florida. I'm also former chairman of the Maryland Republican Party and went on to the Republican National Committee. And then 3 years ago, Larry Hogan appointed me to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland. So now I help oversee the 12 universities across the state. So I keep busy. Joyce and I love to travel. We have been to all 50 states, and I've brought my children to most of those, and 42 countries. And COVID slowed me down because I was supposed to be in France next 2 weeks, but you can't leave the country at the moment. So anyway, life is good. We spend part of our time here in Maryland and Howard County where we live, and we also have a place in Florida. But it is really great to see all of you, and none of you have aged a day.
We paid a lot of money to make that comment publicly.
Cheryl, you look as hot as you always did.
Hey, Louis, that you didn't say anything about being in the State Department, but that's what somebody from the State Department would say.
Yeah.
Okay, how about my buddy from kindergarten, Robin Hoff?
Hello. I only went to Walter Johnson. Anyway, I only went to Walter Johnson through the 10th grade. And after that, I went on and began working. I did graduate with the class, though, because Dr. Reddick approved a correspondence class for me. So I was able to graduate from high school with my class, only I didn't go to graduation because I was working that day. My big claim to fame in Walter Johnson, if I have one, was being my very first musical, Half a Sixpence. And I went on to do lots and lots and lots of other things in the performing arts. And I ended up earning a living as a dancer and actress in films and TV and stuff like that. I did return to Washington several times to perform as a professional at Shady Grove, Kennedy Center, Ford's Theater, and that was really fun. So I could live at home and save on hotel bills. I graduated eventually from college when I was 41 with a degree in speech language pathology. I'm married to a businessman. I have 2 stepchildren, 5 grandchildren, and I live in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and also in New York, where I bumped into Frank Hughes a couple of years ago, and we had a really nice lunch together. So that was really fun. And my latest venture was to start a program in Jackson Hole teaching dance for people living with Parkinson's disease.
Lovely.
Oh, fabulous.
Thank you.
Hey, great to see you, Robin.
See you, Frank.
Stephen York.
Hey.
Hey, Steve,
Hey,
before
yes.
you start, you weren't here, I guess, when I introduced the committee. We didn't think.
I'm sorry, I joined late. I apologize.
Okay, well, this is Steve York, and he's the collector of memorabilia
Yes,
that I
lovely.
talked about.
Yes, I live in Rockville, married, 4 kids, 5 grandchildren, graduated from University of Maryland, and retired, enjoying life.
That was quick.
For you.
All right, very good. Okay, how about Alan Jaslow?
All right. Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody again. Well, I've been living in Memphis and teaching biology at Rhodes College for the past 37 years. And one time when I was living in Panama in the late 70s, I ran into Ann Zusi, our former classmate, and she said, "Oh, you're still playing with snakes and frogs." And basically, I found it insulting at the time, but now it's certainly a thing I rejoice, and it's been true. I met my wife, Carolyn, when we were both in Chicago in the 80s, and we have 3 adult children living in Michigan, North Carolina, New York. And I finished my staged retirement in May, and we like to travel too. So,
Great.
good to see everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Alan, so when Cheryl was doing our bio, that son that's at Coe College, he's a brand new professor of biology.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that sometime. I wrote it down. We'll correspond.
Yeah, no, he's got papers on chameleons and been to Africa several times.
Yeah.
So he's got
Good
some
stuff.
props. Yeah. Okay. Next is Andy. Identified as Andy. So
Yes, it's
that must be-
it's
no.
Andy Pino.
Yep.
Here is my yearbook. I was known as Anthony in the yearbook, but never given the nickname Tony, Andy instead. I live in Stafford, Virginia on Potomac Creek, about 40 miles south of DC. Happily partnered for 43 years. A graduate of Maryland, graduated in, majored in geography, but spent most of my career, from which I'm now retired at in the museum retailing world. Spent 35 plus years at the Smithsonian and 8 years at the National Marine Corps Museum, helped open up that museum. My hobbies include jogging. I'm a big sports fan. Go Terps, go Nats. I love gardening and plants. I've been on and off a ghostwriter for kids, writing children's books for a publisher. And I'm mad about statistics. I follow polling and election information and COVID information. And the latest has been tracking down all of you, my classmates. So it's been a fun exercise, and I have all of my wind-up yearbooks behind me here. But it's good to see you all.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Good to see you, Andy.
Okay, and now here's another one of my buddies from way back when, Catherine Duff.
Unmute.
Unmute, Catherine. Can we get her talking? Where is she?
Oh, hell yeah. You know you can't shut me up. And Frank, my brother Jim says hi.
Oh.
You fight with your brother. Anyway, I went to University of Maryland. I majored in biology education. And when I went to interview for a job with Prince George's County, it was August 20th. They were basically doing the mirror test. Oh, okay. And this lady said, we got a place at Northwestern, 4 biology, 1 chemistry. And I said, well, I'm not really certified in chemistry. And she said, honey, I didn't ask if you were certified. I asked if you would teach it. So, and I wound up moving into chemistry. And one of my good memories is with the lady who mentored me. We were at a chemistry symposium down at the Madison Hotel in DC, and I'm signing in, and standing next to me is Mr. Sanford, who was my chemistry teacher at WJ.
Yeah.
He said, oh, I remember you, but I can't place the name. Help me out. And I said, well, I'm Catherine Duff. He goes, what are you doing here? I teach high school chemistry. And he goes, oh, no, you were late every morning. I said, what, Mr. Sanford? I now understand why that pissed you off. But anyway, I taught for the Prince George's County schools for 37 years, and I taught chemistry most of those years. And I wound up being the head of the department at Eleanor Roosevelt High School, which is a science and tech center. Yeah, who knew? It was a wonderful experience. And I've been retired for a few years. Oh, forgot to show you my picture from, there we go. That's my high school picture. And as I tell people, retirement is everything it's cracked up to be. I love it.
Okay, so as we're moving along, I want you guys to know, in full disclosure, we thought that this participant list that comes up on the Zoom thing was alphabetized by first name.
But it's
Well,
not.
every time somebody speaks, it shifts. So I'm over here playing a dance with this computer, trying to figure out who's next. So bear with me. So next is Mary Malawicki. Mary.
Okay.
Mary Slagle.
Mary Slagle, Malawicki. Yes. Hi. I have been living in Gettysburg for 40 years. My parents moved from Bethesda after I graduated from high school up to Frederick. That's where they retired from. Or retired to. So I went to Towson University, degree in elementary ed, early childhood, and a little secret, Lucy Gilchrist and I were roommates. Oh yeah.
Watch out.
We're not gonna go there. We had a lot of fun. That's all I'm saying.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, my drink's empty, Luz, but it's almost, you know.
Good time.
So, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Anyway, so I've lived in Gettysburg. I got a teaching job here. I've been married 41 years. I have 2 adult children, one that lives in Rochelle, Virginia, near Madison, Virginia. And my daughter lives up here with our only grandson, who is 7. And somebody was saying, I think it was Kemper, that was saying he's an educational support teacher for his grandson. Well, I am too. Our grandson is not in school. He's 7. So he does Zoom school from our house. So that's been a real challenge, but it's going fine. I was thrilled when Tommy Holt and Shelley found me. They FaceTimed me, and I'm like, I don't know this number, but why would they be FaceTiming me? So I answered it. 2 hours later, we were saying goodbye, and then I got involved with being in the WJ reunion. So that's all I know. Come to Gettysburg. I'm not too far from DC. Thanks.
Oh, Mary,
He's
great.
good.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Mary, say hi to Phil.
Oh, I'll say hi to Phil. He'll be thrilled to hear that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. All right, next we have Linda Hahn. Linda Otto Hahn.
Okay, so anyway, since we graduated, I went to the University of Maryland, graduated in studio art, which you can do nothing with. So I became a graphic designer. And at 22, I got my dream job as the art director of Washingtonian Magazine. Did that for 9 years, and then owned and published a magazine called the Washington Dossier. And when that was over, I just started like a quest for like lifelong learning. I went back to Corcoran and studied portraiture for 5 years and drawing and painting. And then now I'm involved with the Aspen Institute, and I just try and seek out as many interesting people I can find to tell me good stuff. And that's sort of my thing, except I've also been, my hobby has been traveling to see rock and roll stars that I'm afraid are not going to be around that much longer. So I've been doing that for 4 years, and my best experiences were going to Paris and seeing the Rolling Stones, and then last year seeing the Eagles in Las Vegas. But
oh my gosh,
unfortunately, my style's been cramped with this COVID.
All of ours has been.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Linda. So next is David Crow.
So Frank, Cheryl, everybody, good to see you. I think I wasn't very well known because I stumbled directly off the Navajo Indian Reservation into Walter Johnson. And I was shell-shocked the entire time. I actually wrote a book about this thing, part of my life. So I lived inside a place called Port Defiance, Arizona. My dad was Bureau of Indian Affairs, and he got a 6-month transfer to Washington, D.C. So I got to Walter Johnson and thinking, well, hell, I'll go back to Podunk in no time. I didn't understand any of the classes or anything. One of the things I do remember is people who are nice to me, and it was mostly the people I see here. Frank, you used to, be good to me all the time, but I had no idea what was going on. So, and I still don't. I think that's probably safe to say. So I've lived in Washington, D.C. my whole adult life. I founded a government relations company 30 years ago next month. I've got 4 partners, and it's gone well. A lot better than the political system I work in, I might add. We've got 3 children. One's a farmer, one's a doctor, and one sells thoroughbred racehorses in Kentucky.
Wow.
Yeah, she's the famous one. In fact, when I go places, no one ever asks me, "Are you Liz Crow's dad?" And I go, "Yeah." I didn't have anything to do with her success, but yeah. So it's really great to see all of you and to see what great lives everybody has led. And I have to say for myself, I've been incredibly lucky. And even though I made a very small footprint on Walter Johnson, you all made a big footprint on me, because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. And what I remember most is people being nice to me. I graduated at the very bottom of the class, below 600. And Chauncey Ford, my track coach, and still my very good friend, 84 years old and in Orlando, he went to every teacher and said, don't fail him because you don't want this idiot back next year. Which I think they did it more for themselves than me. So the guidance counselor said, you're the worst student that's ever come through Walter Johnson. Didn't have a drug problem. And I said, well, if you'd given me drugs, I would have done that too. I had no idea that this was a contest. So my diploma and I got a diploma, obviously like we all did, and a little mirror, and I breathed on it and walked into Montgomery College and said, I'm alive and I graduated. You have to take me. And they were, of course, incredibly impressed with that, as they should. So I stumbled through Maryland. I got a track and field grant and aid. The only other thing I did at Walter Johnson was run. And then I went to night school for 10 more years to kind of make up for all that I had missed. It's just unbelievable how little I knew when I got to high school and how out of it I was. I didn't even understand the jokes or anything. The only black family I ever met my whole life was the doctor in my public health service town. And so I thought they were all supermen and gods, right? And they are. But I had never met anybody that wasn't Navajo or Mexican.
Wow.
And so I can't even begin to tell you how frightening high school was because of that. And
So scary. So scary.
In the book, I talk about it. My dad, I was born 9 months after my dad got out of San Quentin Penitentiary for a crime that could have got him the death penalty. So he raced to the Navajo Indian Reservation because you could lie about being a violent felon. They didn't give a damn. As long as you didn't kill somebody that day, you got promoted. And he thought his accomplice would never find him. And he was right on both counts. So we grew up there, all these tiny dot of a town on a reservation that's bigger than West Virginia.
Wow.
And so I can't even tell you how freaked out I was when I came across 495 and saw buildings and sidewalks and sewage system. There was more infrastructure on the block I lived in than the whole damn reservation. I mean, our town had a dirt road in and out. And if you didn't live in a hogan, you lived in a little rusted out trailer. And the government workers, which were public health service nurse and doctors, lived in a enclosed compound of barbed wire and fence. And the teachers lived in a barbed wire and fenced in area with cattle guards. And my dad stuck us in the dead center of the hogans. And I got the living daylights beaten out of me every day of my life. And that's probably why I was good at running. But so I just want to tell you that the fact that you guys will even talk to me, that you even remembered me, I remember being invisible. Mary, I was your paper boy.
Oh my.
Yeah.
You weren't the only one that was invisible, David.
Oh, no. You are just kidding. You were Charles Atlas against me. I just slid out of there. And of course, I told the counselor that I would come back and show her my pay stub, and we'd be bigger than every teacher in Walter Johnson. I think I did it because I was so ashamed, embarrassed. By the time I did come back, I didn't have it in me. I was just so grateful, and I'm incredibly grateful that I stumbled through life and have had all these great people and experiences in my life. And I'm sorry I didn't mean more to Walter Johnson because I just couldn't. I even missed my senior picture because my dad was dragging me back and forth across the country all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So
David, can you hold up your book again?
Yes, on Old Georgetown Road.
Hold up your book again.
Hold up your
David.
book again. What's the name?
It's called The Pale-Faced Lie. Now here's
Hold it up higher. There you go.
What's funny about it is it took me 10 years to write it, and I found a publisher, and this is unbelievable because I am a nobody, believe me. It sold 140,000 copies. Russia has bought it.
Wow.
And Germany's looking at it. And now Netflix has contacted me about a movie.
Well, I just wow.
So I'm freaked out and incredibly appreciative that you even let me get on this Zoom because based on how much you gave Walter Johnson, it would be about that much.
We appreciate you so much,
Well,
David.
and Frank, if I may,
Yeah.
I did not know David, and David showed up when we were working on putting together the 45th reunion. And I'm
You
sitting at
scared me
that
to death.
table, and I'm like, who is this
Who is this guy?
And a little while later, he had written a book, and I read it.
Yeah.
You need to read it.
I'm getting
Absolutely
it.
great. Thank you.
Blown
I will.
away at what David has accomplished. And I actually talked to my brother afterwards, who had Chauncey Ford, and I was like, oh my God, Jim, you need to read this book, because Chauncey Ford was such an influence on this young man's life.
Yeah, Chauncey saved my
Comes
life.
from me being a high school teacher for 37 years, but I was blown away by your book.
Well, thank you, Catherine. I don't know that I did that much except survive, but I do remember the people that were nice.
Huge.
Yeah.
I remember everybody on this call, but I felt invisible. You know, I just felt like, and you guys knew each other from kindergarten. Everybody
didn't
the
know
very
them
first
from
day, I
kinder-
was sitting next to Frank.
Yeah.
All right, David.
Yeah,
David.
I started WJ in 10th grade, so I was
But you
lucky.
look like you look, and I look like I was 10.
Aw.
David.
So
So,
the first day I sat down, Frank, next to you at a cafeteria, and you and I were talking.
right.
I still remember this. I asked you what Woodstock was, and you're
Right.
like, okay. And somebody told a Jewish joke. I'd never met anybody in my life that wasn't an Indian or Mexican. I didn't understand any of it.
Right.
And I remember you looking at me and your brother Jack too, and out of some sort of mercy, didn't make me feel dumber than I already felt.
Hey, so David, the reunion committee has given me great powers as the MC. And this authentic cowbell that I have, that I told you about, was supposed to cut people off, but I'm going to give it to you and everybody else. I'm going to ring the bell for you, buddy.
Yes, yes. Good. Amen.
Guys,
You're a fighter, survivor.
last comment. It's pretty cool to see a couple that knew each other in high school that are still happily married. And I mean, it really is inspirational and really cool that I'm a part of all your lives. So thank you.
Yeah.
David, thank you. Appreciate that.
Did we say
Coming back.
happily? I don't know.
What's that?
Did we say happily married?
Well,
Yes, yes.
You guys happily married?
Beautiful.
We'll be
No,
friends
Checking,
if
just
we have to.
checking.
As you grow up, you learn how to define your terms.
Exactly. Carol,
Lots of good
Okay.
Beat 'em up.
communication.
Life is good. So Ed,
Yeah.
next we have David Robinson.
Ooh.
Good.
Hi, everybody. Let me see. I'm supposed to. This was me in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the only times I didn't have glasses on for that picture. But I've been happily married for 41 years to Aura Tomasa Fuentes Perez from Guatemala, who I met down there when I was in medical school in an elective in Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. There was an elective down there in my med school where I could work for 3 months with community medicine with the Mayan Indians. And she was a nurse at that hospital. So that's how, and we've been married ever since. We have 2 children, a daughter and a son, both in their 30s. I have 3 grandchildren. And we all live together in the same neighborhood within 4 blocks of each other. So I take care of the grandkids a lot. We're in Salt Lake City, Utah. I've been here now for 30 years. And I retired from the practice of medicine and family medicine, mostly with the Latino population and Native Americans in here in Utah. And I retired last year and life is good. And I want to thank everybody that has organized this. It's really remarkable. And I look forward to having the opportunity to meet everybody in person next year. And Sorry, I'm a little choked up after hearing David's testimonial.
I know.
I got kind of teary there. But I do remember you, but I'm just praying that I was somehow nice to you.
Me too.
In high school.
Read the book. Read the book, David.
Read the book.
Oh,
That's a good one.
I feel
that high school is a place where you're notoriously good to everybody, but you all work to me. So I treat everybody. No one was really cruel to me.
Gosh.
Hey,
Well,
so David, I just want you to know, St. Peter will let you know when you get.
Frank.
And they had a Jack for me.
Well, it's nice. Thank you to all who put this together. It was great.
Okay, thank you. Okay, David McCullough. Now here's a guy, Wildwood Manor Swimming. That's where I met David.
See you.
And then CU. Saw him later at CU. So come on, David.
All right, I'm here. I don't know if you can see me yet, but
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's my picture from high school, my senior year picture.
Look the same.
Yeah, I don't know how many
Your beard is
have your
longer.
senior year picture on your cell phone, but
Your
Look
beard
at
is
you.
longer.
so
Hey, you got a beard.
yeah, well, I just started growing this when with the COVID thing. So
Looks okay.
yeah, it's been a while since I had facial
You
hair.
look mature.
Makes me look old. Yeah, it's all
Mature.
right.
Mature.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Mary. So I left after high school and I went to Colorado. I went to University of Colorado when Frank was at the Air Force Academy. From there, I moved to Honolulu for 6 months, came back to Maryland, and eventually went to graduate school at University of Maryland, got a PhD in physiology, met my wife, my beautiful wife.
Yay, me too,
39
a
years.
physiologist.
Yep, and we moved several times. We spent 8 years in Miami, spent a year in Portland, Oregon, and now we're in New York, although right this moment we're in Maine. But we have 2 beautiful kids, 30-year-old daughter who lives in New York City, writes math curriculum for a charter school there.
God bless her.
Yeah, and my son is 28 years old. He's a wealth manager with Merrill Lynch in Baltimore. He's done pretty well with the little bit of money we have, so I recommend him highly. But life has been pretty good. I mean, I'm still working. I've been for the last, I guess, 3 decades. I've been directing clinical labs that make in vitro fertilization babies.
Oh.
So we've been having fun with that. It's pretty rewarding helping people have babies when they're having trouble. So
All right.
enjoy that. Thanks. And thank you to everyone for organizing this. It's really fun to see everybody.
Great. Yeah, good to see you, Dave.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I would say this guy was probably the bravest guy that I ever knew in high school, because he came to school one day in a green suit with a cape on with an F on his chest. Frogman, Eric Nadeau.
Oh, Eric. Where is he?
I didn't think anybody remembered Frogman.
Oh, yeah.
My
right.
God, you
Yeah.
look the same. You look the same. Eric, look at you.
The best part was it was a backwards F.
Tommy, look at him.
It looked right in the mirror.
Oh my gosh. Look at you.
And who would know that he would go on to join the Marines?
Oh my God.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Hoorah. So let's see. I also did not go to graduation because I was on active duty at that time. So.
Oh my gosh. I wondered where you were.
Yeah, they jumped me real quick. I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps, and then I got out and went to West Virginia Tech and in communications. And jump back. I have 3 kids. I now have 3 grandchildren. One of them's going to be 2 months old on Monday. I have, at this time of year, I'm jumping back and forth in between Fairfax County where I live and West Virginia, and going either to one cabin which is off the grid, and then another cabin which has well water and electricity. And it's exciting.
You
Give
mean
me a
off
chance
the
to-
grid so you can be a spy or something?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm not going there.
yeah, don't.
Yeah.
So I've been widowed since 2005, but in the all the way through the 80s, I was doing some crazy stuff and leaving the country, coming back, leaving the country and coming back, and I can't tell you what else.
Oh my God.
It's been fun, and I learned to follow a lot of orders. I learned to, which is completely opposite of what I did in high school.
Right.
No directions.
Yeah.
That's why we love you.
So I'm just waiting until the other kid. I can't believe another grandchild came on the way, and I got to stick around here for a little bit longer. But I'm just waiting to get out of here, and this Fairfax is driving me crazy. And I hear all of you have done what you wanted to do, go places that you wanted to go, and do that. I want to get out. I want to go back to West Virginia and just be what I got to be out there. And man, I'm glad this is the neatest thing. Thanks, Frank and Cheryl, for stepping up and circling the wagons for us. We're ready to roll.
You're the first one that's going to get the move.
Thank you.
He just wanted to use it.
That poor cow's been waiting for an hour. That cow's been
He
waiting for
knew
an
you
hour.
could handle it, Eric.
I got the one glass in this hand. I got the moo machine in the other. Okay, Everett Woo.
We've done Everett.
We already talked to Everett.
I'm
What about John Niemeyer?
Yeah.
John Niemeyer. What?
Who put an I in my name?
I don't know. It's probably me.
That's
I'm looking.
That's
Everett
all right.
Niemeyer. Sorry, it was me.
That's okay. All right.
Who jumped me? Okay, go ahead, John. Fire away.
Slego, mute your microphone so we don't have to listen to you.
Yeah, move.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Then
Not doing
close
it.
those lips, baby.
I'm not
No.
either.
I'm pouring another drink.
I left WJ and went to University of Maryland School of Architecture, which hadn't even been accredited yet, but we got lucky. After 5 years, it was accredited, and graduated with a degree in architecture, and have been an architect and interior designer and project manager for 45 years. Wanted to stick close to home, so I went to the logical place, went to work for Marriott. And after a short 12 years of corporate life, they told me I didn't play well with children, the other children there, so I should go start my own firm. Met my wife at a Marriott hotel in Lexington, Kentucky that we were working on, and we went out and started our own firm, which we ran for 30 years. And 5 years ago, we sold it to our employees, which was really very, very satisfying to us. We designed hotels. We were able to do hotels all over the world, and it was just a fantastic career, especially because I got to share with my wife. We split our time between Rockville, Maryland, and Boca Raton, Florida. We're the stereotypical snowbirds. We have 2 sons. They both live 5 minutes from us in Rockville. What's that? Oh, and you know, we are fully retired now and playing a lot of golf and boating and just having a ball.
All right. Thank you, John. All right, we're back to Everett. Fire away.
Everett.
Okay, I'm Everett Wu. I live in Gaithersburg. Been married since '88 to my wife Angela. I went to the University of Michigan and graduated with a degree in marine engineering. And I've been worked for 37 years at the David Taylor Model Basin. We call it Model Puddle for those who don't get it. But I worked there testing ships, and so I got to travel the world, mostly out in the Pacific, and did a lot of things for them. And in the interim, I was a runner, ran the JFK 50 miler twice, and did a lot of softball. Played softball from '69 to about 2009 in Montgomery County. But with that career that we had, I did a lot of traveling. We're on a lot of Navy ships, tested them, wrote the baseline performance characteristics for them. So whenever there was a problem, they made us go out there to figure out what the problem was. So I got to travel to a lot of places all around the world. And then when I retired and my wife wanted to do some traveling, the last thing I wanted to do was get on a cruise ship. I did 37 years on a ship all that time. Didn't want to do it. But the biggest thing I learned on a ship, the greatest lessons was how to drink Navy coffee and read the newspaper. There's a lot of downtime on those ships out at sea. And I learned how to not go to the bathroom for 36 hours. So that was a wonderful thing to learn. All those great things that the government teaches you. So since that time, I retired in 2011, and my wife is trying to get me to travel, and she won't get me to go on these cruise ships. It'll be on land. So I'm glad we're all able here to get together, and it's so great to see every one of you. And to David, I like to say, I know I've been to Fort Defiance, been to Houck, and we did a lot of work on the Navajo Indian Reservation. So I know where you come from, what you experienced, and you overcame so much. And I encourage each one of you to read that book that David wrote. It'll give you an understanding that there's a lot of people in this country that are lost and don't, like he said, there's nobody, somebody said something nice, and that's what he remembered. There's so many of those hidden people out there that don't even have a nice word given to them, and that's what they cherish. So remember that when you see other people out there, that they might not have a friend, because charity starts not only outside this country, but in our own neighborhood and our own community. So David, I applaud you for all that you've accomplished in your life and for all that you've done. Read his book. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got the ceremonial moo twice today, Everett.
I didn't hear it.
All right, iPad 63. iPad 63, whoever that is. Who's iPad 63?
Hi, I'm Donna Moreau. And
Hey. Okay, iPad 63, fire away.
yeah, I live in Port Angeles, Washington, the other Washington, so the other side. And David, did you get a yearbook when we graduated? Is David still with us? Because I don't know if you did, but on 119 of our yearbook, it shows
That's me.
across the line.
Come in.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great photo, and I just wanted to double check if you had got.
I haven't had my turn to speak. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten into Maryland without track because I'm such a bad student. But
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, sorry, but strong arm of the law. We're going on. We got to keep moving on. We got more people here that are lined up ready to talk. So
Back to Donna.
sorry to cut anybody off. So iPad 63, finish what you're going to say and then let's go.
Okay, well, I didn't go to graduation either because my family was in Hawaii, and I left and to go back to my family before graduation. And then I went to University of Washington, and the United States Army put me through nursing school there. Went into the Army for a while, and then after I got out, I ended up teaching, and I was a nurse, but I taught a health careers class in high school here in Port Angeles, and that was a lot of fun. I married for a while. I met my current partner back in 2011, and we've been having a great time. I have a daughter through my husband, and I spent not this last year because COVID kind of deterred that, but the year before that, I spent being a granny nanny to my grandson, Elliot, and that brought me great joy. I did end up in Hawaii at my mom's home for much of this year, kind of stranded by a series of events, but I just got back to Port Angeles September 1st, and I'm emerging into the new reality of COVID life.
Okay. Thanks,
Thanks,
Donna.
Donna.
Kay Davis Prushecki.
Hello there. It is Kay Davis in high school, and that is my high school picture. Anyway, after graduation, I followed my parents down to Florida, South Florida, and I graduated from the University of Florida. And I have since married. I've been married for 20 years to my wonderful husband, Bob. We have 2 daughters and a son and 6 grandkids, 3 boys and 3 girls. We retired up to Winter Haven, Florida, which is where we're living now. And we also have a home in Asheville, North Carolina. So we go back and forth, mainly spending the summers in Asheville, but we actually happen to be up here for this month for the change of the leaves. And it's very peaceful and quiet. We're on top of a mountain and we're kind of away from all the COVID mess down south. But our kids live just 40 minutes from us, so we're all in South Florida, and near the Winter Haven area together. I was an educator for 35 years, and my avocation is doing fine arts and musical arts. I would like to be Robin when I grew up, but evidently that didn't happen. I ended up doing a lot of community theater and musical theater through the community. I also, where we live now in a 55 and older gated community, I direct and produce cabarets, and it's been a lot of fun with all of us being over 60 years of age and singing and dancing on stage, but it's a lot of fun. This year I'm hoping, I don't know if it'll go with COVID, but in April I hope to do music from the movies and put it together with about 20 different cast members. And pretty much that's what I enjoy. I feel very blessed, and I think listening to all of you, we all should count our blessings. And thanks so much for being a part of this reunion for our 50th.
Okay, thank you, Kay. All
Hey,
right,
Frank, just before you go on, I got to drop off the call. I just wanted to thank everybody. It's been really wonderful.
Okay.
And next year is going to be even better. So be safe, and I'll see you all soon.
Thanks, John. Thank you,
And
John.
I'm the same,
Okay.
Frank. I'm going to have to go too. Bye, Tommy, Shelley, Linda, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, Herb Pearson, you're next.
Frank, I got to get running too. Thank you. Good to see everybody, and hope to see you all in the fall. Bye now.
Bye.
Okay.
Just make sure everybody tells somebody else about the big party next fall.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I wanted to say that my wife and I are still working.
Oh, sorry. My fault.
Okay. She works for Wells Fargo Bank. I work for the federal government. I work for the Department of Defense. I worked in private industry for 30 years and government for almost 20 years. And I've got 4 adult children, and my wife has 3 adult children. Therefore, I have 3 stepchildren as well, step grandchildren, and they're age 24, 6, and 2 years old.
All right.
So, but I wanted to mention that my roots at Walter Johnson go back a long way, because my 2 brothers and my sister graduated from Walter Johnson, and my brother's wife's brother, Hank Thomas, wrote the book about Walter Johnson.
Ah, nice.
And so I have some memorabilia too, because my brother's wife's brother and my brother's wife are related. They're, I think, grandchildren of Walter Johnson.
Wow.
So that's the reason why. And there's some baseball cards I have that we can use for the Walter Johnson celebration next year.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool.
All right. Thank you, Herb. Okay, Marlon Lewis.
Can't wait to see those.
Marlon Lewis.
Yes, hi, Frank, Cheryl, thank you very much. It's great to see you. It's been quite a long time, I would say. There, I'm joining y'all from Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada there. I moved up here in 1980 to go to school and met a Canadian gal, and I've been here apart from a 2-year tour of duty back in Washington, D.C. with NASA and another year in France. I've been up here ever since there. I'm an oceanographer. I teach at Dalhousie University. I'm professor of oceanography there. I also founded a company which manufactured equipment for ocean applications there, which I sold a couple of years ago. I've got 4 wonderful children, all girls, ranging from age 45 to 26, and they're scattered across North America. And I'm just delighted to be able to see y'all. And if this situation ever stops there, we'd be just delighted if you could come up and visit us in Nova Scotia. There, right now the borders are closed, so we'd like to see if we ever have the chance. Good to see you.
Okay, great.
I'm coming.
Thanks for being
here.
Okay, Mary Rubush.
Hi,
Mary.
everybody. My high school name was Mary Rubush, so that's not complicated. I am in Bozeman, Montana. I am not retired yet. I have spent a lifetime teaching in medical schools. My specialty is infectious disease and immunology. September of last year, the company that I had been working for went under. And I regret sincerely that I spent 40 years working for someone else when it was clearly much more wise to start my own company and do it myself. And I was very fortunate timing-wise that, I mean, we have to look a gift horse in the mouth. When COVID struck and my new company was entirely in medical education online, it gave me a tremendous opening to simply take all of my faculty from the previous failed CPA-driven company into my own company and do what I love to do, which is medical education. I have 2 wonderful children. My son is in his final year of residency as a general surgeon in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My daughter will graduate with a degree, an MD in internal medicine in March. Both of them graduated from Oregon Health Sciences University. My daughter is recently, within the past month, engaged, but trying to figure out how we're going to manage the COVID wedding, which is not as easy as teaching online. I was married for 33 years until my husband came home one night and told me he was moving back to the East Coast. And I said to him, I hope you enjoy yourself. So you probably understand that I love Montana. I wanted to say very briefly to David that I think we all should be incredibly grateful that the community we were raised in, is a welcoming event, not an ecumenical, all religion, all color, all accents when speaking English type of place. Because I do love Montana, but I have to tell you that there is nothing but white Anglo-Saxon Protestant here. And they become very afraid of persons with different skin colors and different upbringings, and heaven forbid a different accent in your English. So it warms my heart to hear your story. And I just think we should stop and give thanks for what we were given by the way we were raised.
Right. Okay, thank you, Mary.
Frank, I need to say something.
Yeah.
Sorry. Mary, you're one of the only people on this site and I'm realizing in a lot of what I've gone through, that is my people from KJH. And I think Larchmont, did you go to Larchmont?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've known you since kindergarten, and I can't say that all these other people are like NB people, and but
all
you and I
newcomers. They're
know, but
newcomers.
you and I went to Larchmont and kindergarten together. I mean KJH, and I agree about David. And hi, that's all I want to say. Sorry, Frank.
This is called speaking truth to power.
Hey,
Okay.
Tommy Holt and I went to kindergarten together.
I know, but we're KJH people from Larchmont. There's
Okay.
very few
All
of
right.
us.
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. James Board. James Board. We got to move this thing along. Let's go.
Yeah, we do, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll be done.
All right, well, we'll make this quick then. I graduated from the University of Maryland. Been married to Joan for 43 years now. We have 2 kids, Tim and Shannon, 3 grandkids. Jax is 7. Emma and Elsie, twins, are 4, and they're right behind me. I live about 200 yards from the Garrett Park Post Office for you Garrett Parkers.
Oh my gosh.
Might hear the train go by any second now. But, we've been here for 35 years. I'm working as a paraeducator at Wheaton High School, and I work with learning disabled children, most of whom don't speak English, so it's really a challenge. I coach in the afternoons. I worked with the WJ basketball team for 7 years as their strength and conditioning coach. I still keep their game stats and keep up the website and write the game descriptions.
Wow.
I'm also a football coach at Churchill High School. I coach the special teams. I was the head JV coach for 2 years. I was also the baseball coach at Wheaton until 2018. I stay in touch with WJ a lot. So if anybody needs help or contacting anybody at WJ, the principal, Jennifer Baker, is my neighbor. So she and I chat quite frequently. So let me know if you need any help with any of that. And I put a lot of stuff on our Facebook page about WJ Athletics, and you'll be happy to know that WJ football made the playoffs for the first time ever this past year. And how well I know, because we were their first game and lost to them.
Yeah.
And so it's been fun. And I'm planning on working about another 5 years and really enjoy it. And it's great to see everybody. Everybody looks great. And David, I enjoyed your book. And I asked my sister, who is works on the Washington Book Review, to review your book, and I'm sure she's going to really, really enjoy it.
Great.
Thanks, sir. Great to see everybody.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Okay, now we have another Jim. We have James Fouchard.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Frank. Well, I'm go by Jim, but live in Gaithersburg. I've been married to my wife Connie now for 42 years. After we met our first day of college 50 years ago last month at Ohio University, and I got a degree in production design there. We have one son, Jason. For the past 45 years, I've worked as a theatrical set designer and scenic artist. We're it's close to about 300 productions now, and designing national tours, international tours, regional theater, and opera. And for the 38 summers, I've worked as resident designer at Totem Pole Playhouse up in Caledonia State Park, which is halfway between Gettysburg and Chambersburg, which has been my summer home. And didn't bring a photograph, but I did pull out a couple of old posters of one of them's from one of the shows that we did back at WJ, and a couple of the others that of all the posters I designed when I was art committee chairman, that designed and printed, and we put them all up. But great to see you all.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. All right, just so everybody knows, we have 3 left. We have Randall's iPhone. Fire away. Randall's iPhone.
Randy Beatty in the car.
Okay. How about?
All right, there you go. Am I there now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Hey guys, great event. Thanks, Frank and Kathy, and especially Linda, who organized so many things. I'm Randy Beatty. I'm living in Tennessee. I retired a year ago from Oak Ridge National Laboratory. I've been married for 38 years to the love of my life, who I met on stage, which Robin will get a kick out of. I'm a PhD in chemical engineering. We spent 7 years in Moscow, Russia, interacting with the former weapons scientists. Then I got recruited to the Atomic Energy Commission in Vienna, Austria. So I had a chance to live overseas, visited 121 countries, all 50 states, and of course, 3.5 million miles on the airline. 4 grandchildren, two kids. My son followed me to the National Lab, and it's been a great life. I hope to see you guys next year.
Hey, thanks. Hey, thanks, Randy. Okay, next is Steve Mullaney. Steve Mullaney.
Greetings. I'm Steve Melanie.
Melody, sorry.
No problem. This is, I'm calling from the road in Colorado. I am an independent contractor courier in Colorado, so I get to be out and about in a really beautiful environment. It's great to hear from Nancy, who lives nearby somewhere. We'll have to get in touch. It's great to see Bob O'Toole. I'm wondering when the next time he's coming out for spring skiing. It's great to see Steve York, who I see at some of my family weddings because he's close to my little brother. And it's good to see Jim Fouchard. I don't know if you remember this, Jim, but we were roommates in our sixth grade Williamsburg trip. So anyway,
That's that long ago. Wow.
So anyway, I am very happy. As you can see, I'm determined to be on this reunion event, the first ever for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody next year for sure.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Safe driving.
Thank you, Steve. All right, last but not least, because I don't think I've missed anybody, Felix Thomas Holt III.
Hey, y'all. I'm Tom Holt, sometimes known as Tommy, very rarely known as Felix, and only people like Frank can call me Felix or Tommy. I left WJ, went to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, graduated from there, taught school for 3 years, and then went to law school. Was a lawyer for about 40 years. I was married for 43 years. I've been a widow for 3. I have retired 2 years ago from my law practice, and I am now living at Sunset Beach, North Carolina, trying to learn to play golf. And anybody who wants to come down here and hack it around with an old friend, I'm available, and I've got room, and just kind of living. I got 2 kids, 4 grandkids. The youngest is 6 years old, and the oldest is soon to be 8.
All right.
So I probably got the oldest grandchildren in the crowd.
All right. Very good. Okay. All right. So.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
I didn't get called.
Now, I knew there was somebody we were missing, but
Okay, good. No, hey, great. I tell you, this participant list has been flipping on me the whole time, so I've been over here trying to figure out who is what. So, Jack, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. We might want to ask after Jack talks if there's anybody else we missed.
Right.
So here's the high school picture. Also, the tag from the car. I'm living in what's called North Bethesda. Of course, when we were young, it was always referred to as Rockville. Jim Board, if you're still on there, I live about less than a mile down the road from you on Ashley. So they're in the same neighborhood. I married a Whitman graduate, class of 70, For those of you who went to NB like myself, may remember Vicki Searles, that's her name. And I'm still working, not retired. Probably still work for another couple years. Been in the kitchen appliance business for 33 years. I work as an outside sales rep, and I call on contractors, builders, remodeling contractors, kitchen dealers, that sort of thing. And that's what keeps me quite busy. But I do have a lot of outside interests, involved predominantly in archaeology groups. One's an academic one. The other one, I've been 16 years a volunteer for Montgomery County Parks Archaeology Program, and have excavated sites all around the county, mostly on park property, some of it in private property, but anywhere from Bethesda, Brookville, Gaithersburg, and that keeps me real busy too. Do a lot of public events as well. And that's about it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jack. Hey, I'm glad you jumped in there because, like I said, I've been having a little trouble.
Oh yeah.
Figure out who's going
moving
on.
the goalposts on you.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So, is there anybody else that we haven't already got? Okay. So this went longer.
Yeah.
I hope Shelley fires me as the MC for screwing this up.
You didn't.
Because my life will actually improve if she just gets rid of me, pick somebody else. Anyway, everyone should know you now have a feel for the reunion experience. You see and talk to classmates that you didn't know or never even spoke to in school. So I hope you learned something today about those classmates that you didn't know or you got to know for the first time today. It was really a special time for us because Bethesda was really a small town. We walked to school. We knew there were kids. Every other house had kids that were going to school together. So I hope you enjoyed the reunion, and we want everybody that's not part of the committee to be a reunion ambassador and reach out to other classmates to generate interest in the real event next year. And now it is back to you, Shelley.
Right. Thank you. So we had more on our program, but obviously it's after 6, so we're ending it. And I just want to say a couple things I need to say. I'm looking at my notes. Yes, one thing is we were wondering how you guys would want to maybe have more Zoom meetings. There'll be a survey on our website that you can answer or respond to, make suggestions. If you want to do a reunion, another Zoom meeting, say after Christmas, I don't know, I'm just making that suggestion. Okay, I'm looking at my notes. Also, we need, okay, so you can go on the website and you can, I already said, I think you can email us individually. You can also just scroll up to the top of the website where it says contact us, and you can send an email. You won't know who it's sending to, but Hugh and Kay and I all get it, and we will respond to any of your ideas or questions. And let's see what else. You can also go on Facebook, and that's Walter Johnson Class of 70 to have some communication with our people. And yes, we want you to be reunion ambassadors, to reach out to other people that you might know who you want to see at the reunion or contact. Let's see, MCs, thank you for your wonderful happy hour. Frank and Cheryl, thank you, Bruce. Thank you, the committee. And the other, really, here's a big thing. Here's the biggest thing, I feel like. All of y'all, any of you, or if you know anybody who's really technology oriented, we need help to enhance our website with music, pictures. The website has so much capacity, but we don't have anybody who's really like that great at it. So if you know somebody, or if you feel like it's a little complicated website, right, Hugh?
A little bit, yep.
Yeah, it's a little complicated, but it has so much capabilities. And if you look at other reunion committees, they have a lot more pictures and videos and slideshows and music than we do. we would appreciate anybody who wants to volunteer to do that. Hold on. Oh, and well, as we said, there also is a in memory of on the website of any of the classmates that we've lost, unfortunately.
Shelley, can I throw in one thing?
Yeah.
Just to mention that on the website, anybody who's registered on there, you can email each other private messages as well. You won't necessarily, you won't have their email address, but you can use our website to contact each other individually and get exchange phone numbers, addresses.
You go on their profile contacts, and then you don't see their website actually, or their email, but it will email them. Yes, on the profiles contacts.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, any other major questions before we close out? We wanted to do the fight song.
Are we still going to have, are we still going to leave the Zoom session open for another 10 or 15 minutes, or do you need to go, Bruce? You're muted.
Bruce,
Bruce,
you're
did you
muted.
hear that?
We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
I was getting ready to cue up the fight song, but yes, I can leave it open for another 5 or 10 minutes.
If anybody really has like major questions or concerns or
wants to speak to each other.
Bye, everybody. Good seeing you.
Email me or I'll email you.
Thanks, Frank and Cheryl.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Woo!
That's great.
Thank you.